What's up, guys? Barry Gaming here, back with some more Idle Heroes, and today, well, we're talking still about Mutated Fungus Geester even to this day, because we've been slow testing him, we've been watching other creators make videos on them, we've seen people on Discord, on Reddit, everybody's like, do we build Geester? And the big main answer is maybe. Now, if you're a hero, or if you're looking for a hero to be like your 4th, 5th, 6th Transcendence hero, maybe not. It really depends on what game modes you care about the most. Now, if you care about bosses and things like that, he's probably going to be one of the most important. If you're more thinking about Void campaign and pushing to Chapter 5, probably not as necessary because he doesn't have this crazy huge round 1 burst. Typically, heroes you want to go for in Void campaign are ones that are going to get pretty much a win in the first couple rounds, and that's not something he does. But if you're looking for battles that go on for a very long time, very long time, it's really hard to beat this hero because, well, he probably has one of the best cores in the game besides, like, you know, the bugged out noble core of origin for Star Alchemist Holmes Young, which is just crazy for survivability and stuff, but his crazy for damaging. At the beginning of each battle, increases all allies damage dealt to poison targets by 15%. That is amazing. And then on top of that, increases all allies damage dealt to burn targets by 15% until the battle ends. That right there is going to be the most important core you will ever see, most likely. When it comes to things like Star Expedition boss, I mean, even just like PvE bosses in general, there's probably going to be that global boss coming out around Anniversary as well, so stay tuned for that because Fallen Venlir was the one that finally won that one, so that alone right there, 15% to both poisoned and burned targets. We don't know if it necessarily stacks just yet. We will have to try to find a way to test that. That actually might be a really cool thing to try to test out once we get his core. Or if somebody has his core out there, hit me up on Discord. I love to jump on your account and test the core out. It's just we can't do that right now on ours. Then beyond that, allies will release extra attacks after releasing their active skills, dealing extra poison damage equal to 120% of their attack, and burn damage of 60% of their attack as well for 5 rounds. So that's really cool, especially when you think about PvE with demon bells. Like, you're getting actives off every single round with every single hero in those last 5 rounds. Like, the burn and poison dots are just going to be absolutely crazy on there, like absolutely nuts. And then if Self is under Mutation Awakening, which takes, I think, what is it, 3 active abilities to get to Mutation Awakening for Geester, detonates all layers of the target's poison and burn. Not necessarily the best thing, but hey, it is what it is. Dealing 13% of the total damage remaining as dot damage. I mean, this is where this is kind of cool for something maybe more like PvP, where you just want to nuke some targets down. But in long battles of PvE, it does have a downside, but honestly, we're not caring about the damage portion from him of the dots. This is just added bonuses and everything. Really, what we care about with this hero is going to be his active damage hitting. So his active skill deals damage to 2 enemies with lowest HP, burns the target, dealing extra damage, poisons the target, dealing extra damage. If Self has resolve, each layer deals additional damage to a random enemy 1 time. So there's a lot of layers of hits that are going on there. And then when you take a look at his sublimation, beyond that, you of course have, if Self has resolved, each layer will also burn the target and poison the target, so that is absolutely amazing if you do have resolve. Additional crit chance, and then if Self has resolved, each layer will deal damage to 2 random enemies. Now, this isn't going to be as big of a deal or as like game changing when it comes to Star Expedition, but you never knew. I really don't know. We have no clue what this global boss is going to be like. Is it going to be a single target boss? Is it going to be a multi-target boss like Flame Shrine? Because in Flame Shrine, resolve this part, the noble sublimation, really pops off. In reality, we kind of thought the basic was going to be his bread and butter. Really is not. And then, of course, his passive skills are really great too, because, yeah, more burn, more dots. When an active skill and basic attack deal damage to a poison or burn target, deals extra damage by 45% of the total dot of burn and poison. So this was changed a little bit from like the skill card, the way we thought it was going to work out. It's interesting how it works out. It's kind of the dot instead of like the actual damage dealt, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. And then of course, getting those 3 layers of genes, you consume 1 layer every time you use an active skill, so it takes 3 actives to get into that mutation awakening form that we were talking about, but it does help him get those off because he has control immunity with them. And then he has some pretty interesting things with his noble sublimation, such ways to heal himself and keep himself alive. Also increasing his all damage dealt, which is pretty cool too. And yeah, increasing the cap of his dots, all these things. So overall, he is a very, very strong hero. Like, hands down, he is a very strong hero. But I think what he's going to be used for the most is much like how we use, where is it? This one right here. Yeah, the Noble Sublimation on Mystic Fairy Freya. That's going to be one of the most important parts with him as well. Now, what I think is going to happen and become one of the most important strategies in a lot of these game modes is, of course, having Mystic Fairy Freya, because she gives 33% of the effect to allies, which is the increased damage dealt to poison targets. So that's really important. And then in tandem with that, really not even any of his skills per se. His skills are going to give additional damage and stuff like that, but what it's going to do is give that extra 15, maybe even 30% damage to those targets. And when you combine the 2 of those together, that's going to equal a lot of extra damage. So I'd love to hear what you guys think. Again, if anybody out there has any one of these cores, even if it's just the baseline one that gives 10%, because really it's not a huge difference, 10 to 15%. I mean, I guess if you have both of them, that's 20% versus 30%, so it's 10%, but like, I don't think that's going to be that big of a deal. I'd love to just test it out and see what actually happens. We'll do a test where we only have a poison on the target, and then we'll do another test when we have poison and burned on the target. And then with that combination, we might have a better idea of how this primary core of origin for Mutated Fungus Geester actually works out. And of course, it has the bonus effects. So I'd love to hear what your guys' opinions are on these right here. And if you've tried it out, definitely let me know. So hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Let me know how you've been experiencing Geester in general. Sadly, we haven't been able to build them because we just don't have enough Geester copies right now. It's kind of hard to get them, but we'll get them eventually. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. I'll see you guys next time.